This is a short video showing the advantages of functions and pivot tables in Excel. This spreadsheet uses functions to locate individuals and data. For example, if I want to find someone by their address and the only thing I know about their address is that it has an avenue in it, I can go to the input box above the address column and type in AVE. You can see that the cells with avenue in them are highlighted. This is called formula-driven conditional formatting. I can use the database to filter what was formatted. Just click the down arrow, filter by color, and now all of the rows with the word avenue are in one place. And now I will undo it and remove av. Now I want to show you something more valuable. The input box in C2 is not only connected to formula-driven conditional formatting, but it is also connected to several XLOOKUP functions. In A2 is a XLOOKUP function with a return array in both A2 and B2. This function is set, first of all, to find an exact match. Secondly, if an exact match cannot be found, it will return the next higher value. Since Buzz Aldrin, that is ALB1, is the first in an ascending alphabetical order, it is the next higher value over the tick mark in the input cell C2. Now to D1. In cell D1, we have another XLOOKUP function. This will display an exact match only, not a higher or lower value. The return array is from column D through column H. The values in those columns will be returned. Suppose I want information on Ethan Becker. I will put in BE for Becker and E for Ethan, followed by a 1 because that would be a good guess. You can see a series of data about Ethan in column D through column H. Also notice that Ethan Becker's row is highlighted in red with conditional formatting. In rows 1 and 3 are two more XLOOKUPs. The one in row 3 will display the name associated with the next higher ID value than the value in C2, which is the input cell. The XLOOKUP in row 1, the next lower value. This is based on the alphabetical order of the ID column. Note that the ID column does not have to be in alphabetical order for this to work. I can put it in alphabetical order and then you can see how things line up. So first notice, I have Anthony Bailey, then Ethan Becker, then Doris Day. Now I will sort it alphabetically. So we have Anthony Bailey, Ethan Becker, and Doris Day, the same as the XLOOKUP values. Now on to duplicates. Obviously you don't want duplicate IDs, so here are a couple of built-in warnings if duplicates exist. Using standard conditional formatting, I can select a rule to highlight duplicate values. So if a duplicate value exists, those values will be highlighted in yellow. For example, Doris Day and Denver Dalton. The last names begin with DA, the first name with D. I can change DAD2 to DAD1 and I will have a duplicate. And conditional formatting has alerted me to the problem. Also, if I put a duplicate value in the input box, I have a warning in red at the top of the sheet. I will select it and you can see the formula. The last function is a subtotal function with a nested if function. The subtotal function sums the values in the credits column as a sum function would. The difference is that when I filter the data, this subtotal function will give me the filtered sum, whereas the sum function will still display the entire sum of 6,482. I'm going to choose to filter for Texas. I will go to H1 and type TX. Next, I will click the down arrow, choose Filter by Color, and click Enter. Notice that the sum is no longer 6,482, but 600, which reflects the filtered data. I have an if function nested so that if I change the S in K3 to an A, I will get an average of the filtered data. Okay, that's it for functions, and now onto pivot tables. In the upper left-hand corner, you can see the data source. Down below is a simple pivot table. In this pivot table, I will use the individual categories in the category column to become individual column headers in the pivot table. I have decided for the salesperson column to be rows in the pivot table. Where the columns and rows intersect are the values from the amount column. I have also added the product number data, but it is hidden for the moment. Suppose I want to know what Eli sold. I will click on Eli, and we can see that he sold something in all three categories. If I wanted to compare Eli with Emma, I will hold down the Control key and select Emma. Now I can see a comparison. Now I will remove the filter. Let's suppose I am only interested in the decor category. I will click on decor. We can see that Robin sold quite a bit in decor. And now I will remove the filter. We can look in more detail about specific sales. The product numbers are hidden, but I will unhide them. If I click the plus sign, I can see the product numbers of every sale that Eli made. I can expand the field and see all of the data for all the salespeople. And I can take it back and remove the plus and minus buttons. And of course, it is very easy to change rows and columns and to manipulate the pivot table in many ways so that you can drill down to useful information quickly. Okay, this is just an overview of some of the things that you can do with functions and pivot tables. Thanks for watching.